Hello and welcome to episode 21 of the Osu Mapcast. I'm Cinnabun, and in this episode, I'm joined by brand new BN DeviousPanda
Hello.
and his mentor and past guest of the podcast, Seto Kousuke. How are you guys doing?
Hello, doing great. How about you?
Yes. Yes.
I'm
yeah,
doing
I'm
good.
doing good too. Thank you.
Nice. What have you guys been up to this week?
You can go first. Okay, I guess I'll go first. I haven't really been doing much. There's actually been like a new game that's came out, which is just arrived today, so I've been playing that a lot. But apart from that, I've just been doing work and stuff, you know.
Oh, what game?
It's the new Paper Mario game that just came out today. So
Oh,
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm not playing Paper Mario, but I'm playing Dark Souls. So yeah, I'm.
oh, you're
quite-
playing
I-
Dark Souls? Nice.
Yeah, I always liked the series, and I started playing the Dark Souls 3 like 2
Wait, so
days
you
ago.
played like before, or like you're just not getting into it?
Nah. I played like Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1, and like I loved both games. And then I pretend that Dark Souls 2 never happened, and I'm gonna pretend that Dark Souls 3 is the real Dark Souls 2. So yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Have you ever heard of the game called Little Witch No Better?
Nope.
Okay, so it's a Souls-like game. It's my first Souls-like game, which is it's a really hard game, but it's basically like Dark Souls. If instead of like whoever you were controlling it was like whatever, some like demon or dude, whatever, but instead it's an anime girl.
Oh, it's a
So
better
it's like a
game.
little witch. It's a better game. It's actually really hard. I mean, I beat it. I've been playing it, just trying to speedrun it.
Oh.
It's so fun. It's also so hard. I love the game so much. It's
Oh,
actually
man.
good.
I'm gonna search that.
Nice. It's on Steam for like $10. You should get it. Okay, back to. All right. So first question here, guys. How did you first get into Osu, Panda?
well, for me, I think it was back in like 2014. I know we went through this like last like week, but I forgot it all already. So I'm just trying to
You're
have to
fine.
remember it, you know. Um,
If
No,
you
I
don't know
think
what
it was, like-
Panda's talking about, this is our second time recording this. It's the first time someone's audio messed up.
Seto.
Yeah,
Cough.
Panda. How dared you mess up the audio?
SMH. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I learned the game in 2014. This would have been around like September time because a friend
Okay.
of mine, she showed me. I think it was Ruchi's big. It was the Big Black play that like was set like around that time, and that was the like really well known play now. And I
Right.
just didn't think that it was that stuff was like you could do that stuff. I thought that it had to be like cheating or something, you know. And
Exactly.
so that got me interested, and I thought, well, I might want to try. And those first few months, I played the game so much, like I was glued to this game, right? Like I guess I'm not as attached to this game now, but I'm still very active, and I have been for like the whole time that I've been playing. It's just kind of shifted from playing to mapping.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Nice. You just been here since 2014, so
Yeah.
quite a while. And so what are like other things you do outside of Osu then?
There's really not too much. I mean, apart from playing games that I am like, right, which I taught, which I mentioned like at the start. All I really do is I just have a job and I just do that, you know, and then I come home and I play OC.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about it. So like for those who don't know, where are you from?
I am from the UK. I live pretty close to London, so I'm pretty far south. And there's not many other OC players here, so I don't know anyone.
Dang. You gotta just make a convention and just get people into Osu.
Yeah.
And so I guess then moving on, how did you start getting into mapping from like playing and all that?
Okay, so basically, I forgot exactly what it was, but I think it was I used to be a big fan. Well, I still am. I used to watch Aza's streams like a lot, and he went through a phase in like 2015 or so where he would map. He would do like a lot of mapping like on stream, and that got me like, wow, this looks really fun, you know. And so around like 2016 or so, I started to kind of play around with it. I think it was me and my twin brother, because we both play this game. He's not as active now, but we both decided to like try and map and see how we would do, right?
Like
And
friendly competition.
yeah. And
Nice.
there's still some old sets of like ours on his pro on his like account, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that, and I really enjoyed it. He not so much, you know. But ever since then, I've just been doing it like completely. I haven't really had like a break or anything, right? Like I don't think I will, because I just really enjoy doing it, you know. And
Right.
from 2016 till now, I haven't really felt to the point where it's got stale. Like there have been points where it's kind of been a bit like, oh, I'm just doing the like same like thing, right?
Mhm.
But I just kind of get past that, you know. And so yeah, it's yeah,
All new still.
yeah,
You just
like
keeping at it.
yeah, I'll just try all new stuff, you know, and it helps keep sorry.
No worries.
It helps keep just the mindset fresh, you know, when you try a lot of new things.
Yeah,
And I
like you
think
definitely
that's
need that.
Yeah, and that's what's got me through all this time of mapping, you know.
Yeah. So with Seto also being here, and as we said, you're mentored by Seto. How did you get to, like, to start meeting Seto and like to start getting mentored?
Well, so the like funny thing is that before I would say before 2019, right, I knew absolutely no one, right? Like I was just I was doing my own thing, right? And then I think I started streaming around like January of 2019, right? And I got more involved with the kind of like Twitch side of things, like quite like a lot of modders. And one of them was Seto, right? I would watch his stream and stuff, and because he was a BN, and I was like, I want to send my maps to like this guy that could rank them, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody does
So-
that. I know.
Yeah. And now I
BNB.
am on the end of that now.
Hey, it's a cycle.
Yeah. But so around like probably I'd say like July or so, I found his stream. And I was just like, "Yo, what's up? look at my maps, you know." And he did, and that's pretty much it.
Did you like his map, Seto?
Not gonna lie, yeah, like Panda has like these circular movement maps, you see, with a lot of curvy sliders and circular motions, and I personally really like that. Panda's problem back then was that he was making a really good map, and out of nowhere he went mental with like retarded deep spikes, 1/8 bursts, and like, what the hell is going on here, man?
Hey.
No.
Hey, I still do that now, though. Come on.
Yeah, but it's
No.
better. It's better. I don't have like I don't know, a mental breakdown when I see your maps. As
Now it
often.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we basically met through me just like doing that, and then he asked if I wanted to join a project that he was doing around like December or so. Although he hadn't planned it out yet then, if I remember correctly.
Actually, it was like around January or February, because December
Okay.
I was still finishing the first part of this project, which is basically me doing my thing. But yeah.
Do you want to talk about that project?
Oh yeah. Basically, since I started mapping, like to try to get maps ranked, you know, I had this mentality that it really isn't hard to know what you have to do to get things properly done and to become a BN and stuff. You see. So since I joined BNG, I decided to try to study and streamline a way of finding every single, or at least most important information that you need to become a good modder. So in 2019, like, I don't know if it's possible, but if the editor can put like an image that I'm gonna send you,
Sure.
yeah, I'm gonna put an image there, like boop. Yeah, so this basically I decided to start like writing down every single map I modded and nominated, and if the map got reset, like disqualified or popped, I would mark that. And on the first 3 or 4 months of my BN life, I had a few resets. I learned things I didn't know, and 2019 I basically decided to say to myself, I'm gonna try to do as much as activity as I can from different kinds of maps, and I'm gonna try to get not a single reset. Or if I do get resets, I'm gonna try to stay like above 95% of perfect nominations. So I tried to like get different kinds of maps with different kinds of issues and stuff. I did a lot of projects, modding events, just to get like a bunch of different maps, so I could test a kind of I'm gonna call like a style of modding and things to watch out for, just so I can prove to myself that my method works, you see.
Exactly.
And, yeah, and if the method worked, I wanted to try to teach that method in a simple way in which anyone can understand and apply for themselves. So I try to keep it like most objective possible, you see, like without any of my stuff, which ended up being a problem later on. We can talk about that, but it worked, you see. So I was like, okay, let's try to make people become BNs now, and that's basically the guinea pig project. People can say it's just like mentoring, but I personally don't consider that mentoring, because I'm not teaching them, like I'm not
Really?
helping them improve their things. I'm literally like telling them a way to do things. So they're not my mentors. If anything, they're my mentees. They're like my students in a way, you see. But I like calling guinea pigs because it's funny. so,
Right.
so yeah, but basically my test subjects. And Panda was someone who was, well, I already told him, but he was basically an awful
Trash.
modder. He was
Yeah.
really bad. And I'm like, dude, if I can make this guy become a BN, then this is
Anyone
a
could be
success.
an.
Yeah, anyone can be a BN. So I got like different kinds of people to participate in the initial guinea pigs, you see. So I got Panda, which was like the worst one. I got Stixie, which was someone where the majority of people that fail BN apps are at. Like he wasn't a bad modder, but he still missed something to be accepted. So he already failed like an app before. And I
Okay.
got like someone who didn't know anything at all. Like he didn't know nothing about modding. And a few other people that I imagined that would give me some trouble based on mindset and behavior issues, but I still wanted to try. Because if they become BNs and like in a way better people, things could probably be better both for them and for the community in which they were part of, you see. But at the end, some issues happened and only 3 people stayed. And yeah, I consider that like a success, because Panda got BN and is now a full BN.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, somehow. Stixie as well, and the other one, he didn't pass, but he got a cooldown reduction. So I still consider that something very good, because like in 3 months or 4 months, he didn't know literally anything at all of modding. And he
Yeah.
got like a reduced cooldown and almost got in, you see. So I see that as a really good thing. So yeah, it's a success in a way.
Oh yeah, that's super cool. It's like many will enter, but few will make it out.
Yeah, I still think that can be better, because I learned a lot of things that went wrong and others that I could have done better, you see. And I plan
Right.
on doing that again, but with more and more people, you see, like to increase the amount of BNs that are there.
Are you gonna have like an actual system, or are you just gonna keep like asking people if they want to join or whatever, or like have people where people can sign up or stuff like that?
Like my idea, like my initial idea, is not only do that by myself, but like from the guinea pigs that already graduated, you see, like for example Panda
Oh.
and Stixie, I want some of them that are willing to help to actually help me teach other people on a bigger scale, you see. So kind of like mentorship works, you see. Like Yaspo is also an NAT, so I have a few talks with him, and like my personal plan that I would like to do at some point is like kind of mix that with the mentorship, you see, and
okay.
like get more people that are interested in that, and then we like get a few people there like slowly. Like I started with what, like 5, but 3 ended the first project. So next time I want to do with like 9, you see, and if I have like someone else to help me, maybe more. So like try to get more people into BNG, like from different kinds of styles and genres. So yeah.
Because that's not like a and bad like thing, right? Like there's no way that you could, because it's not like giving more sorry, speech.
No worries.
It's not like when you give more if there's more I can't say it. BNs. That's it.
Okay.
If you get more of those, it's not like they're changing the standards around, right? It's just that
Yeah, it's not a problem.
you just have more guys that can do this job. And I actually was going to say, when you were talking about the mentorship things, I actually applied to be a mentor for the next cycle, like yesterday, I think. So that's going to be good experience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have applied before, and I applied for mentee like a long time back, but I never really got in.
Oh,
But-
you didn't become a mentee?
No, I didn't become a
okay.
mentee. I applied like probably back in like when it first started.
Oh,
I
the
think-
first few cycles?
Yeah, I didn't get
see.
in, and I think it's good that I didn't, because I value the fact that I was able to just do it by myself, right? But
Really? Okay.
yeah, and then once I applied for mentor like a year ago or so, and I got rejected because I couldn't mod, you know. But I think being a BN, I think I'm meeting the requirements of being able to mod now, you know. So I was like, I might
Right.
as well try it. I might as
I
well
would
try
hope
it.
so.
Yeah. And
That's cool.
I'll see if I get accepted soon. But yeah, I
Yo,
just wanted
Panda
to.
for mentor.
Yeah. But going back to what you said about the project, like that is something that I would really want to help with, because it's always good to get more guys in to like. I can't speak today. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, you're good.
You know, it's just it's always a good thing, you know, to just get more guys in. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Just more maps getting ranked and it works out for everyone.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and like for example, if let's say Panda helps in teaching other people, that would be really good, because remember when I said that there were a few issues? Like I think Panda can explain that like better, since that happened like specifically with him as well. Because since I was trying to streamline a way of doing certain things like better, you see, I kind of made it like a bit too objective, that I could have made like
Yeah.
less harsh, you know. So
Oh, okay.
like, I think like Panda can explain that better. Like you can go on, Panda.
Yeah. Basically, what he's talking about is well, we got taught one specific way, right? Which was very kind of like strict in things that can and can't be like ranked, you know.
Right.
And when I got into BN, I had a few issues at first, because I was like really scared to rank stuff, because I was like, I need to check everything like five like or 6 times. I need to make sure I'm not getting things wrong. And
Of course.
yeah, and I think I wouldn't say it's Seto's fault, but the way that it was being taught was like, oh, you need to check all these things, you need to make sure that this type of thing is good or not. And that got to my head a bit, and I was very scared about ranking stuff. And my views based on that weren't like, I was basically taking what should be a subjective view, right? Like you can choose to be how strict you like want, but there are things that you need to make sure that you have that aren't ranked. But like, you don't have to be like extremely strict for everything, right? There are some things that are kind of like, oh well, it could be better, but it's just styles and stuff, or you like this. And I wasn't thinking in that way, right? And that was that was hurting me a lot, and I barely got in in the first place because of that, right? And so Seto and Mal, who's another, who's a speech, sorry.
They're good.
Seto and Mal, who are both NATs, right? They had a chat with like me about what I was doing wrong and stuff, and I was able to basically say, okay, I'll start to like think with like more of like a broad mind, you know. And I think that's something that if there's new guys coming in, like that's something that you need to think, like the way that you've been taught may be good for like apps or like the things that you've learned, right? They may be good to be apps, but you need to always keep a like open mind, right? And just kind of like not everything is black and white, right? Like there are loads of views, right, that are all correct, and to just kind of pigeonhole down one of those and say this is the only thing that I will accept won't do you any good, you know. And that's something that I learned out, and then I changed that, and now I'm like thought I passed, you know, although it was close again because my activity, well, it was a bit of my activity for probation was like half in, like it, like that. There are reasons why I wasn't doing much stuff, and that's not related to the game, and I'm not going to get in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That stuff, but like I managed to pass, right, and that's all I care about. And now I know what I can do and what like I can improve on, you know. And I'm never going to accept that I've reached like a peak, you know. Mm-hmm. I'll just keep on trying to improve, and I think that's the best kind of mindset that you can have. And I know I've gone on a bit of a tangent here too, but I hope that that's okay, you know.
Nah, it works out. It is a good mindset to have. And you know what's speaking about like probation, you said you've been out of probation now for a good bit, and were there any things about like when you're getting into the BNG about like the position that you didn't expect or like you had to like get used to and all that?
I think it's more just we talked about this last time, and I had a bit of a more of a think, and I didn't realize how much of a community there like is in the group, right? Like I just thought it was guys that would rank maps and all that, you know. I didn't think that there was like a proper kind of sense of like we're working together, you know. Like I just thought it would be like, oh yeah, we nominate maps now and then, and you know, and go in your like own way. But since I got in, it's been like very inclusive, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on that I just didn't really expect, you know. And
such as what?
The BNG, they actually host game nights, right? There's like, I think it's like each month or so, and those have been quite like fun, right? And it's stuff like this that I just didn't really expect from the group, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now fish shout out.
Yeah, that would be because she does set up all of them, I think. Yeah.
Oh wow! So like, what kind of games do you guys play? Or like, is there like someone who always wins?
The most recent one we did an orange juice like bracket, right? Where
Nuffy did tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that
sounds super
quite fun. Yeah, I think they play a lot of like song guessing quizzes and stuff, because of course they all know a fuck ton about songs,
right,
and metadata and stuff, right? And I got beat into the dust, right?
Oh,
of course
wow.
I did, because I think it's like the guys that know like everything, like it's Kaija and
Hyperstar.
Yeah,
he's
I don't
a god.
know them, but, they know every single song in like a like anime like ever, right? So they just
Dang.
win.
Yeah, I guess it was being like BN or whatever, not listening to all these songs for like years. You keep a little bit of them in mind.
Yeah. And on top of that, I think something else that's quite sur- surprised me is probably the amount of work that some BNs do that isn't really visible, right? Like for example, Haley, right? She does almost all of the QA checks, right? Of the like BNG, because it's a optional work thing, right?
The
So
QAH?
so she basically does them all, right? And it
By
definitely
herself?
puts it. No, well, she checks like all maps, but there's supposed to be 2 per check, but it's mostly just her, right?
Oh.
But it puts it into perspective when you see all the like drama about her on like Twitter and stuff, about how she isn't doing well and stuff, and then you look at her, like look at what she's like doing, and
Right.
she is checking like hundreds of maps, right? And it's bound that you're bound to make a mistake now and then, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of mappers, they kind of forget just how big of a job that it can be, you know?
And
No,
not
yeah,
gonna
Haley just
lie,
works
like,
super hard.
if you take a look, Panda and Cinnabon, like at what Haley does, I do have to mention here that there's some people, like especially mappers, that are not BNs but mappers, that they simply don't want to get the map DQ'd because of her posts, because it's gonna hurt the BNs, this is dumb, like. But the thing that they don't realize is that most stuff that gets disqualified today do not hurt the BNs as much as they think. Like like if anyone goes to the BN site and open like any BN card, you can see the nominations and the resets that the person got, like either disqualifications or pops. And right at the side of the disqualification or pop that happened, there's a value that says the severity of the reset. And the big majority of those resets are like 1-0, 0-0.
Like really low.
Yeah, it's really low. Like if someone gets DQ'd because let's say the expert diff has a jump diff spike that is a bit too much, the BN is not gonna go to probation. He's not gonna get punished. He's most likely gonna get like maybe a worst case scenario of 1-1, and 1-1 on the severity system is like, oh yeah, this was a slip, but you're not gonna get killed for that. Just watch out for this to not happen again, and that's it. You know, and people are like super scared of stuff, and I like mostly I am the one that sets the saps, and I'm constantly like talking to BNs and getting feedback. Or if someone finds an inconsistency, they can talk to me about, and we can discuss that, and maybe we can lower or even increase the SAV depending on the case. But people seem to be so afraid of getting resets that they simply don't care at all, like about anything else, and they are too harsh on the people that do QAH. You see, which is like completely unfair in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, like I think I'm talking about the like whole thing itself, but I think the problem with QAHing is that it's not a positive job, right? Like, yes, you are doing it, but the only result that you can get is like a negative reaction, you know? Like, that's what popping maps does, right? And I think taking that all on as one person, as one like BN, is probably something that should be shared, and that's my own view on it. That I think that this should be something that we all do, but right now it just does feel a bit like like
Yeah.
I can't really explain it well, but that's like my own view on it.
That makes sense.
Like, yeah, I just hope it gets changed, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Well, something will happen eventually.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, true. And so, moving on a little bit, Have you had like any mindset changes since getting into the BNG, where like how you handle your workflow and like modding and all that?
Oh yeah, I did speak about this a bit in the previous question, but it's more about like I was stuck in the mindset of like modding stuff mm, mm, ah, sorry about the
You're good. Don't worry about
stutter.
it.
It's like a lot worse than it was the last time. But but
It's
yeah,
okay, don't worry, man.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's oh, what was I talking about again?
Mindset changes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I think I was stuck in the kind of the view that I was doing mods for like my like apps, right? So I was like stuck in like what I would think is that, well, if I'm not doing a lot like a like lot of posts, well then I'm not doing it like well, you know, when that's not really the case, right? Like if like a map does have issues, then you do post, but some maps just don't have much. But I was
Right.
still stuck in the set of, oh, I need to find problems, you know, which isn't a mindset that you should have, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, that's something that I've kind of grown out of now. And I think it's so good to have this kind of like I felt that I've had a lot of motivation now. Once like I got this like role, because compared to when I wasn't one, just being able to help mappers like rank maps is just such a good like feeling, you know.
Exactly.
So I'm a lot more. I have a lot more drive now to kind of do this when a few months back it was like you know, but now I have a lot more kind of passion for the job that like I am doing now, you know.
Of course. That's just good to keep in mind, and as you just work more and stuff.
Yeah.
So then, how do people who want to get like Devious Panda mod or nomination on their map, how do they approach you?
Oh well, I think because it's kind of hard, right? Because as much as I would like to be open at all times, I can't really do that because then I'll just have way like too much work. But I'm
Right.
always open for guys to just for me to like look at maps, you know, like if you want me to just like have like a quick look and give some quick advice, I'm always down for that, right? But when I'm closed, I would basically expect me to not want to nominate or mod stuff, right? But
Yeah, that makes sense.
you can just ask me in game. That's completely fine. I always check through my like my I
PMs?
always check through
Google-
my
Google
my
Sheets, yeah.
my like PMs, right? So I'll always be like I'll always respond to a lot of them unless it's like completely troll, right?
Oh, right. Have you had like trolls and stuff like that
I've
before?
had some really weird messages. As we,
Really?
yeah, no, I've had some really weird messages, right? Like, there's been,
Do you want to talk about
yeah,
any of them?
yeah, I really do. No, I had this one mapper, right? I think they ranked a map in 2013 that was well known at the time, but I didn't know it, right?
Okay.
And they were talking to me about how they must be one of like I must really like their like maps and how I've inspired them and or like how they've like inspired me, and I'm like I don't even know
Okay.
who this person is, like like they're like saying that like their mapping has like made like I look up to them or something when I didn't even know who this person was, and that was like the weirdest one that I've got, you know.
That's so
yeah,
weird. Yeah.
that was the weirdest one. But
It's like I created you. I don't even know who you are.
it's like I haven't got any rude messages, which I'm glad for, because like
That's good.
although I know Dixie has, right?
Aw.
But like for me, I've just like I think the worst thing I've got apart from that weird like one is some guy requesting me this like ultra meme like song, right? Which is completely fine. You know, I don't really mind. I'll just ignore it.
Right.
Yeah, but basically,
Disclaimer: it wasn't me. Okay.
It was Seto's alt account.
Yeah.
After he requested it, he ended it with a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I do have stuff on my pro file, which basically says just don't ask me for like meme songs, you know, and that's like the like thing. Just if you want my like mods, just check on my profile, you know, and then you'll see if I'm closed or not. And I think the main thing that I might start to do is look for maps instead of have guys ask me, right? Because I know
Oh, okay.
I know that's what you do, and I don't know if you want to have a chat about that. But
Sure, I don't think Seto
Yeah.
ever mentioned that in our episode.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
more strict.
so I'm
Tell us about it. How do you find like your maps then, Seto?
Well, basically, like, it depends on what exactly I'm doing at the moment, you know? Like, for example, when I'm not doing anything stupid, and when I say stupid, I mean like big scale modding events,
Okay.
you see?
Yeah, another
Or
K-pop.
something like that. Yeah, like I'm easier to get a nomination from. But here's the thing: I don't accept direct requests from people that I did not give permission to do so. But I do stalk Modrex a lot.
I
Even
have
nowadays.
permission though. I'm just
So
gonna put that out
basically,
there. I technically do.
yeah.
Yo, can I have permission?
Sorry, the internet is lagging.
Okay. Oh, dang it, we lost Seto.
Yeah. Wait. So basically, I stalk Modrex a lot.
Okay.
So I basically look every single map there. That's a fact. When I'm online, of course. When I'm online, I look at every single map that gets posted there. But the maps that I feel like helping, sometimes I may not nominate myself because I'm busy with other stuff like the events, NET stuff, my own project. But most of the time I try to mod from mod with other people to nominate those people's maps, you see. So even if I don't nominate, I actually help some people get other BNs. Or sometimes when I find like a good and simple map, I nominate myself and I ask another friend of mine to help with it. Like sometimes it's Hyperside, sometimes it's Peter, or I don't know. Like I ask people that would like to help like newer mappers. You see.
Right.
So it's quite easy to get a nomination from me if you know how to make a decent map. That's it. And you are not a jackass.
Right.
I really don't like dealing with dumb people like at
No,
all.
I'm sure.
But yeah, but basically that's like recently I'm quite dead with Modrex nominations because of the whole quarantine thing. I had like some issues with work and then NHG stuff got a bit more like busy because everyone is at home, everyone is applying. So I'm a bit dead, but I should be taking a break for like a month soon, and when I go back to the game, I'll probably start doing those things again, you see?
Hey, more big
So,
projects.
Yeah. Yeah, more big projects, exactly.
Heck yeah.
And I still need to finish the Persona 1.
Oh.
But yeah.
Wait, you okay? So were you still doing that, or like you were about to start that when we had our episode?
Okay, so basically, here's the thing. We already have like, I don't remember what's the number exactly, but we have like 8 or 9 maps that are like ready. They just need mods.
Okay.
They already have all difficulties and stuff, hit sounds, everything, etc. The only thing I need to do is to sit down and fucking mod the maps. That's it. I need to mod the maps because I already filtered like the not bad ones, but the ones that would give more trouble to rank like safely, you see.
Yeah.
But I just need to sit down, mod them, get the second BNs. Like there are people who are willing to help already, like for example Panda, Hypersite. I think Yahudi would help as well. So basically it's just me sit down and do stuff. But yeah, as I said, I'm a little bit dead on the brink of having a 1 month break, you see. But soon, yeah, soon.
Hey, that's good. It's always good to take a break, especially
Yeah.
when you need it.
Yes.
All right, and so also for those who don't know, you started a little something a while ago called the Mappers Alliance. Do you want to talk about like a bit about that and like where it started and like how it ended up?
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a project that basically, so the reason why that started was because it would have been about March. There were a lot of like commission sites, right? And we viewed that as a bad thing. Like, oh, like okay, so my views on commissions, I'll just say in this here now. I think it's completely fine, right? Just make sure you have permission from all of the guys that you are taking their like songs and art from, because
No,
if
of
you're
course.
making money from stuff that isn't you don't have permission to use, that's pretty much illegal. You know, like you literally cannot do that, and the reason why they still do it is because there's no real things against it. So we thought, instead of trying to just like instead of trying to just ask them to stop, we would start our own project to do what they do, but completely for like free. It was a bit naive, right? Because I didn't really expect exactly how big it would get, right? Because I thought it would just be a few mappers just kind of doing their like own thing, but it blew up a bit too much, and I was like, I don't know how to cope with like running this, and it fell
Just like too fast, too quick.
And it's a regret of mine that I couldn't have done it later when I have a lot. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back.
Elevator
Yeah. I think it's a regret of mine that I didn't do it when I knew more about just like a lot of things, right? Like, I was a bit too hoping that it would work, and it didn't. We still got a few maps done. We got about like 11 or 12 map sets done that were requested, and there was like 2 of them ranked now. You know, like, that's, I think it was it was good in that like sense, but
Yeah, that's not
it
bad.
didn't really pan out the way I was hoping. To be like fair, nothing does, you know. But yeah, that was something that I ran for a few months, and then we kind of just died, you know. And
I see.
I wish I could do something like that on a bigger scale once I have a lot more time to really put in it, and for it to not be. So another issue was that we were using it to directly go against the whole thing going on then, and that made it like a very
commissions as a whole.
that made it a very like negative thing, I think, in the eyes of like a lot of lot of guys, right? And I think that was a problem, right? Because we ended up like rebranding to like not be associated with it, but it was still done, right? And if I were to do it again, I would probably make it a like, I wouldn't make it to like go like against a like group, you know, because that just isn't gonna work out.
Right. So there is hope for another.
I mean, probably not soon, but it's something to think about like a lot later down, right? If I want to go back and do that again, how it would be ran, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
But that's probably not gonna be a thing for a long time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, we'll be looking forward to it. And so before we go on to like the golden question here, I had a request for you probably already know who, but to talk about some pickles.
Pickles and
like,
plungers.
why
yeah.
you like pickles and plungers?
Okay,
Yeah, of course.
so
and like why you want to.
so Mal,
Mao, yes.
Mal is a devious shit, right? Like, no, okay, I'm joking. I love you, Mal. But no.
Shout out to Mao.
Now he made this like mode which is like I'll put it in the chat. I know you won't be able to show it on the stream, or not on the stream. Sorry, in like the video. But he made an emote of like a cat holding a plunger or something with like a pan to face on it. And he's been spamming me this like so much. It's so cursed.
It's terrifying. It's I don't like it. I don't. I hate that I know what it is.
And yeah, so that's where that comes from. If you didn't know.
Yeah, because just Mao's been spamming me as well. Like, yo, you gotta ask Panda about pickles and plungers. I'm like, fine, I'll do it.
I love
yeah.
Mao.
Mao is so good.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we do have the golden question here. What is your go-to advice for newer mappers, Panda?
Okay, this is gonna be a bit different from a lot of advice that you would probably get. But what worked for me was just try and take maps that you like that like are ranked, and this is for really new mappers, like guys that they just don't know how to like map, and they're stuck. They don't know how.
Right.
They just don't know things, right? Just find maps that you really like that are ranked, right? And just kind of study how they do things, right? Just kind of like see how they do rhythm, how this fits songs and stuff and all that, right? And just kind of try to emulate that in your own maps. Like, don't steal things, but just try and like do what they did, right? With your own like spin on it. And I think that's what helped me improve a lot, right? And I think that's something that newer mappers should do, because it's less about mapping more and about it's about like mapping smarter, if that makes sense. Like, if you want to just improve, right, then that is the way that you should, you know?
Yeah. And just, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it.
Exactly. Although, one thing to keep in mind is that you don't want to copy things, because then you don't really develop your own style, right? Just kind of like have like a balance of what you want to do, and then what you like from other maps, you know? And yeah.
It's like inspiration, it's not copying.
Yeah, exactly. And that is probably the best advice that I could give.
Hey, perfect.
And like, if I could, I wanted to also complement Panda's advice with something I kind of knew before, but I learned more with the entire Guinea Pig project, which is basically make friends. And I don't mean like, oh, go be friends with BNs, and it's like, if you can, sure. Yeah, like, if you can, sure, go ahead, but basically this is a social game, like Panda said. And I say that for myself. Like, I have like many mapper friends that we talk like very regularly, like Hypersight, Trina, Neto, and a few other mappers like from Brazil that are new but are starting to rank their first maps. And even with these guys that have no ranked maps and they're just like getting their first one, sometimes I still learn some things with them. Maybe a different kind of pattern, a different kind of rhythm, different visuals that I just look and go like, oh man, this is really cool. Why didn't I think of this before? And then I just try to apply that to my own style. And slowly I feel like I'm improving, you see? And that's very good, even for like complete newer mappers. If you have friends that also wants to get good at mapping, talk to them and try to improve together, because the more people you have on your circle that wants to improve, you guys are gonna help each other improve
and
even
it makes
more.
it fun.
So maybe, yeah, like you can teach something to your friend and your friend can teach you something else as well, and you guys can like improve twice as fast. And if you have like another friend, thrice as fast. So
Yep.
basically make friends, you see?
Exactly. Just is very efficient as well. Alright, so I guess with all that being said, very sound advice. Are there any like last things you guys want to mention as we close up here?
I do want to give a shout out to the is this the part where we do that, or is that later?
Go for it. Yeah. Nah, you can go shout outs, whatever
Yeah,
you
no,
want.
I do want to say a big thanks to the guys that were in the night project that got me like here, right? And that would be Seto, right? For
Of
that
course.
one, it would be and the other two like guinea pigs who are Stixie and Narugi, right? Like, I wouldn't have got here if like it wasn't for all of like three of you, you know. And
Right. That's so sweet. Shout
Yeah,
out to
so
Stixie
cute.
yeah,
and Ruby
and
and Seto.
there's like a few like friends that I've made along the way, right? Like, I probably the guy that I know the most, probably, I don't know if you know him, but it's Melwine, right? Like, shout outs
Oh, yeah.
here, right? Like, yeah, like,
Heck yeah.
he
Hey Mellowine, sorry for the 2-month late GD, but I did it.
if you don't know him, check out his
Bad
maps.
setup.
They are really good. He's like
Yeah,
he like started mapping in like late 2018, right? And he got his first rank map in like 6 months of mapping, right? Like, he's absolutely fucking insane.
Oh, wow.
It's like so good, you know? So go check him out. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Melwine. And what about you, Seto?
I would like to shout out like two friends of mine that are working really hard into something that hopefully we can announce soon, which is Trina and Maot.
Oh.
That they're not only like good mappers. Trina is even a BN right now, but they're like also working in something very specific that I hope that a lot of people are gonna enjoy eventually. And who knows? We'll see soon. But yeah, shout out to Trina and Maot.
Alright, heck yeah. And so, as we come to the close here, I have the last question. And so, with having a BN and an NAT this episode, will you both be able to nominate my map? I gotta get a.
I'm that.
I
I'm
need to
that.
get a map ranked
Turn that-
somehow.
Give it to me, and I will nominate it right fucking now. Like, dare me, okay?
Heck yeah! All right, boom, link right now.
Yeah, you do that, and I kick him. I mean,
Speedrun getting kicked from
Yo,
BNG.
heck yeah! All right. Thank you guys for joining me. This has been episode 21 of the Mapcast. As always, if you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, and thank you for Panda and Seto for joining me.
Thank you.
thank you.
And if also have another little thing. If you didn't see our last episode, we announced a Patreon last episode. So I also want to say thank you to our VIP Patreon Lazarus for signing up for that, and I really appreciate it. As always, it's not needed. And yeah, have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.